How's it all going, guys? Deeks here with another All About Truvis, but this one is going to be very different. Obviously, every episode is me either unveiling new Truvis for my collection or talking about the history of Truvis or Hawaiian Truvis. Today, I want to step away from Callaway a little bit. The reason why is I've been doing All About Truvis now for over a year. And on many occasions, I've reached out to them to see if there's any help they can do with showing off my channel or providing me with some freebies that I can give for giveaways or helping me secure like a blind box of 12 so I can do a blind opening. And every time, even when I like tweet them or tag them, they never, ever respond. And I know that I'm small fry. But surely me publicising Truvis and creating Truvis collections and increasing the brand awareness, you'd think that would be something that they would like me, like to help me with, but really don't. Now, about 5 years ago, I decided to move away from night golf because they stopped production. So then I bought a new beautiful Carnoustie Callaway bag. And that's how my love of Truvis started. And since then, I've managed to secure a Rogue driver. I've got a Rogue 3 wood. I've got an XR 5 wood. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to expand into wedges and irons. Now, Callaway wedges seem to be around 120, 130 pounds each. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like them. I love the grind wedges where they've got that crisscross pattern and it goes all the way to the edge. I think it's PM grind. And I just think that you'd get so much forgiveness and so much bite off those. But two things are stopping me. The first one is the price, £140 per wedge. And the second one is I'm not getting anything from their customer service teams or their social media teams. And I feel loath to give them all of this money. So over Christmas, I had an advert come up on my feed for a wedges company called Lazrus. And they say that they are a company that are cutting out the middleman. So there's no reps or anything they sell from website to consumer. But the clubs themselves are made in the same factories as all of the big companies are made. So essentially, I'm getting a very similar product for a lot less. And when I say a lot less, I've got 3 wedges here and I paid £120 and I've got them in a 52, a 56 and a 60. And I thought I'd unbox them with you today. Now, let me be very, very clear from the start. I am not expecting a massive premium product. I'm not expecting a branded box in here or special, heat molded packaging. But what I am hoping for is 3 wedges that I can play golf with that look nice, that give me a little bit of performance better than the really, really rubbish pitch wedge that I've got at the moment. So without further ado, we're going to open up the box. We're going to take a look. And then if anyone watched All About Truvis 40, you'll know for the first time I tried a little bit of editing on my videos where I actually just clipped 2 clips together, and it wasn't the cleanest of clip, but it happened. And I think what I'm going to do for this one is when I've unboxed these, I'm then going to go out onto a golf course and I'm going to film me playing some shots with my new Lazrus wedges and some Callaway Truvis. Now, I don't like playing with Callaway Truvis. It feels wrong for me. I feel like I'm breaking something with value and collecting something, but I'm going to do that because I have to have Truvis on this channel. That's what it's about. But I wanted to share this little journey of mine going for wedges that you may not technically go for. So I'm going to open up the first box from your local neighborhood friendly conglomerate. I won't mention their names, but it is a large jungle in South America. And instantly I'm going straight into clubs. So there is no branded box whatsoever. And I told you I wasn't expecting that. But I do have some some bubble wrap. It does look like the packaging is going to protect the clubs. The worst thing for me right now is if there's any dents or chips on the clubs themselves. But again, let's have a look. Oh, this is really well taped together, so give me a moment. With regards to the rest of the club, I'm expecting all of the paint on the clubs to be within, you know, their allotted areas. I'm expecting the grips to be on correctly. So when I mean straight. So when I'm holding them, I'm looking down the line rather than a skew width wedge. The shafts, I'll be honest, I'm technically a handicap 15 golfer. I've not played much in the last 2 years for obvious reasons. So I'd recommend that I'm probably around an 18 at the moment. So the quality and the material of a shaft, not really going to be of much use to me. But at the moment, I am really struggling to get into these. So talk amongst yourselves. Or fast forward. I don't even know if people fast forward through my channels. I have an app that tells me roughly how many people have watched and how long you watch to. And it's clear that I lose a lot of my viewings at around 7 or 8 minutes. And I'm already at 7. But this is going to be a long video anyway, because I'm actually going to go out onto the course as well, which I've never done before, and I'm super nervous about. But again, when I was thinking about buying these, I went onto YouTube, typed in Lazrus to see some reviews. There wasn't many. There really wasn't many. You know, I'm not sitting there expecting Rick Shields and Pete Finch and Matty Fryer to go out there and review these, but there wasn't a lot. So I'm considering this like a public service that I'm doing for all of you guys, not just my regular watchers on All About Truvis, but anyone that would be interested in buying these that wants an honest view from an average golfer. Right, so I think I've just about got the first one out. As I said, this is about the time that I start to lose viewers, but please stay with me because there's going to be lots of checking out the clubs, testing out the clubs. Oh, I've got a bit of sweat on. Cripes. How are you all doing anyway? You good? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're doing. Right, so first one is free. Now, first one is you can see that the grip is branded with their name and nice blue. My Carnoustie bag is blue, so I'm really pleased with that. First one I've pulled is the 60. Now, you will notice that there is a kind of colouring on there, and it's called the rainbow covering. And it's like this kind of rainbow colour, and it stands out really nicely. I really like that. The paint is where it should be. The one thing that I'm really surprised about is there's a big sticker right there that says made in China. Now, when I did all my research for this, I found it really, really tricky to find out where Lazrus is, and I managed to track them down to Boise, Idaho. And I was kind of expecting to find many smaller golf brands to be manufacturing there. I'm really surprised to find out that they're made in China. It's a little bit disheartening. However, we press on. The second one that I've got is a 56. Again, you can see that they are packaged really well. There is no dints. The club face is pure. I'm going to take the plastic off in a minute. And let's get the last one out. If you can hear any scuffling to my right, the cat is now in the box. So I would anticipate more noise coming from down there. And the third one is obviously, for those paying attention, the 52. And again, you can see it's got that really nice kind of rainbow colour. So let's crack one open. Let's have a look what it looks like under the plastic. Oh, it looks much better out the plastic. The plastic's hiding the big colour. So let me hold that up. So as you can see, you've got a beautiful face, and the face, I need to hold it up like this, is all milled. So this bit's milled, this bit's milled, this bit's milled. So just like your putter, or if you've got a milled putter, but you've got this kind of extra, how can I describe it? Kind of like this bitty coating that I'm hoping that when you get enough speed down onto the ball, it should hopefully stop on a top, or even maybe bite back a bit. I'm not the best pitcher and chipper, but if I give it enough welly, hopefully I can get a little bit of stopping on a top on the greens. But that does feel nice, and it looks absolutely stunning. Really, really, really like the way that looks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put them in the bag, and I'm going to go out to the course, and I'm hoping that I can snip a few of my shots on the course to the video, and then I will come back and feed how they performed out on the golf course. To all of my regular viewers, I am sorry that I am moving away from Truvis. I'm coming right back. I've got some cracking balls coming up for you guys. I'm not going to be going into club reviewing. However, I felt there was a little hole for someone to do an honest review and test of these golf clubs, because there's not many out there on the website. So for now, I'm going to click away, and I'm hoping next time you see my face, I will be out on the golf course. Catch you in a bit. Right, I'm back off the golf course. That was really, really, really interesting. I really wasn't sure what to expect from these clubs, but actually getting them out on the course and having a go on them was really, really eye-opening. And obviously my channel's called All About Truvis, so I'm going to touch on that bit first. I absolutely adored playing with these. Previously, and I think I mentioned it in the first bit, I really don't like playing with them because they get, when I lose them, I feel like, oh, that was, that was a collector's edition, or it was rare, or, I value it more than other golf balls. But actually having them just chipping off the green, watching them go into the air, land, and then you can see it biting, really, 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 really good for feedback. You really get a good idea of, how much you can swing through the ball. And then when it lands on the green, you can kind of see a lot more what it's doing. I'm not the best golfer. I'm about a handicap 15. Now that I've been collecting Truvis for about 18 months, I've not played as much golf, so it's probably down to more about 18. But, I can hit a golf ball. I've got an okay golf stance. And just having that feedback from that Truvis was really, really interesting. And I think I'm going to go and play a couple of rounds with them, maybe on a golf course which is quite wide open, that I won't lose many, just to see if I get the same feedback off the longer shots. But obviously I was using my new Lazrus wedges. Now, when I opened them, I was really excited. The one thing that I was a little bit put off by was the fact that they all had made in China stickers. I was very much under the illusion that they were all going to be produced in the US, in the same factories, manufacturing plants, as the bigger brands, and I was a little bit put off. But that's not to say that being made in China is a bad thing. Obviously making them in China means that they can do more at a lower cost. It makes sense. But obviously these clubs have now gone from China to North America, now to England, and carbon footprint is starting to it doesn't bother me, but you're kind of aware of it when it's made that much of a journey. Now, obviously I was very, very pleased with them as I got them out the wrapper. When I was looking at them after the video, I did notice, and I'm just kind of scurrying about here now, there was a small dint on one of them as I unpackaged them, and I've taken a picture of them. I've taken a picture of it, but obviously I can't find it now. So I'm thinking that the dint has gone, so it was just something else. Anyway, who cares? So I played about 30-40 shots with each of them. And the one thing I've noticed is they've not scuffed up at all. Okay, now you living in cloud cuckoo land if you think if you're going to buy clubs and they're just going to remain without scratches, without nicks. And these have lasted really well. You know, I played 40 shots. This is the 60. So I was giving it a full swing with this, and there's no issues there at all. This is the 52. This is probably the one that I used the most. You can see a little bit, but there's not that much at all. Now, the one thing I will say that I absolutely adore about these wedges, that milling on the face, you can't really see it here, but there's a milling. Really get the idea that when you're making contact with the ball, it's really kind of screwing it. So when it lands, it really bites. And I'm very aware that obviously, you know, I've got reviewer bias. Obviously, I've bought them. I want them to perform. And also I've put them on a video and I want to, you know, look good in front of all of you guys. But you could definitely feel that when you made the really nice contact, the ball was going up and it was biting really nicely. I really enjoyed using these clubs, and I'm going to enjoy them in the future. I'm certainly not going to be looking to buy any Callaway wedges just to replace them just because they're Callaway. These are doing a really, really great job. And I think if there's anything that I would say against them, it's probably me. It's probably me not being a great golfer. These wedges are very lofted. Now, the more loft you get on the club, the harder the shot becomes. For instance, if you're using the 60, which is this one here, if you're giving it a full swing, it's not going to go that far in front of you. However, if you mistime it, if you thin it, it's going to go 50, 60, 70 yards over the green. So it is a really risky club to use, and it does take a little bit of time to get used to using it. So the only feedback I would give to Lazrus is get me a 48. That's what I really want to say to the guys in Lazrus. Get me a 48 in the rainbow, because I just think that with all of this loft, I don't think I'm a good enough golfer to use the 52, the 56 and the 60 all in the same round. There's definitely a time to use the 60, don't get me wrong. You know, if you're playing over a bunker with not a lot of green to play with, the 60 is invaluable. However, it's nice to have the 48 in the bag, simply because if you want to do, you know, those kind of big bump and runs, you just set it off on your back foot and just let it go. And if you've got a lot of loft, you don't get as much of the bump and run. So Lazarus, if you're watching, sort me out a 48 in the rainbow. But apart from that, your clubs are amazing. I really enjoy playing with them. I had a chat with my mate and he agrees they look really stunning. The comment that he did make, and I think this is a really good thing, you've only got the loft number on there, and we feel like it gets a bit loft. Now, every other wedge has it written that way. So, Lazarus, if I were you, I would probably stick your L brand in black and then have the loft and or bounce number horizontally, not lengthways, because it just doesn't match up with anything else in the set. But do you know what, I'm really nitpicking right now. I had an absolute blast using these clubs, and I would recommend them for any high handicapper. Obviously it's going to be really good for the high handicapper to start using high lofted clubs to get used to playing the chips, the pitches, and the flop shots. It's the price though. The price makes it worth it, because you are getting hold of some really nice clubs at a really good price, and I can't fault them. I really can't. Yes, they don't match everything else in the rest of my bag. Yes, they're not something that every golfer is talking about in the pro shop, but they are stunning clubs and they performed really, really well. So Lazarus, thank you so much for making these clubs. Obviously I've paid for them, so this isn't a paid promotion video. I don't even have 50 subscribers. I'm not making any money of this, but I really appreciate the work that you've gone in to make these clubs. So if you are a high handicapper and looking to get some wedges that you like to look good on the course, but also give you a lot of that screw back ability, that biting and that roll back, these are a really, really good option. So check out Lazrus Wedges. And that is all about Truvis 42, I think. I think I've recorded 41 and I may have mixed that up. But thank you so much for joining. I really feel that Lazrus and Truvis are a perfect combination, just like you and joining me watching this video. Thank you so much. I'll catch you around. See you later. Bye-bye.